I've written on the Wisdom Applied blog about the power of framing, of creating context to support your group's position in negotiations. For example, framing negotiations around quality, not cost. Related to framing is the power of the story, from the fairy tales that your parents read to you when you were a child to the story of your group and its meaning to the hospital, to referring physicians, to patients, and even to the community at large. On a whim, I Googled who discovered America, and I found the popular stories of Christopher Columbus, claims that it was actually Leif Erikson or some other Viking, and others citing Chinese explorers, or was it the Basques? Others poo-poo all of this, and they say, what about the Native Americans? But even they didn't come from here. Their ancestors came from Asia. My point isn't who discovered America, but rather that there are a number of believable stories about who discovered America. People buy into the story that they believe, and then they discredit the others. So the underlying truth really isn't the point. No one can force you to believe. You do all the believing yourself in your own head. Now, of course, it's really not that simple, because while someone can't force you to believe, they can certainly create conditions that make it conducive for you to believe. That's the whole point of advertising and sales, telling a story that resonates with you so well that you develop a coherent belief. What story are you telling about your practice? If you're not telling one, or if you're not telling it convincingly, someone else is out there and they're telling another story about you or your group, and that story is likely to be believed. These are not amorphous or esoteric concepts. They have real-world application. They are as much a part of negotiating your next contract, for example, an exclusive contract with a hospital, as in the face-to-face stage of negotiation when you're sitting across the table from one another, hammering out paragraph 47. We're told that Abe Lincoln learned to write using a piece of charcoal from the fireplace. We're told that George Washington cut down the cherry tree and then freely admitted it. What's your story?